Welcome to the only podcast that never lies to you. This time we're going to be covering It, the Clown, the Stephen King.
What? Oh, because you just lied.
Yeah. So we're not covering It.
Art the
You
Clown.
beautiful bastard. Yeah, we're talking about. I don't know. I thought I had this. I prepared. Like I said, I prepared a thing for the beginning, but that just went out the window. I don't know where it went. So.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun.
Please don't come after this little Nas X. I didn't. It's a reference. It's not a. This isn't. Anyways, so this movie, yeah.
What? I thought you were telling me to go.
Let's talk about why we didn't pick it. Well, would you like to start the story?
Well, for one, we wanted to keep a theme for the month of October.
Oh, that's true.
And then you mentioned you really want to do a clown movie.
I did.
And off the bat, you yell out, "Not Pennywise."
Not Pennywise.
Yeah, and I was like, "That's fine."
It's too obvious. I thought it was.
Fine.
It was too.
And then
there's so many.
You saying that made me excited because I was like, "Oh, I got this."
Well, so I watched this thing, and it was like a history of clowns in clown, like scary movies, horror films, etc. And there were so many that were out there, but there weren't so many that were out there. You know, like here it was more than it's more than I thought and knew about. One, because I'm not really a horror butt cheek, but also that I'm sure I can find like way more scary movies about vampires or like ghosts or spirits or whatever. But I think I guess after Chucky, then Scary Dolls or whatever. But I didn't know a lot about them. Found the video, then I asked you about it. And then they got, pretty much what you just said. It all came together in this way. But the reason why I didn't want to cover it is because it's super obvious,
mainstream,
played out. Like it just
is it because it's like mainstream to like your local basic bitch.
A little bit, but we already did it. Like, I don't want to run through all the horror, like
Stephen King.
Not just that, but no, I mean like we already did
the
Chucky,
main
we did
titles.
Saw, we did like Saw,
Yeah,
we did The Shining. We're doing
You wanna,
Halloween. Go a little bit.
Get a good mix.
Of like stuff
popularity.
That's why I think it's cool that we did like Trick or Treat. And and then like the fourth kind. I like that we're a mix of shit that people don't know, but then there's a mix of things that people might know, and I think between those two things, it keeps things like lively and interesting. So it's not just like a bunch of foreign shit that you don't know. It's a good mix. I feel like we're doing pretty good with that.
All clickbaity. You know this,
but it makes the channel look good. Like I'm not gonna fucking lie that like it's nice to see.
I think Art the Clown is one of those like. I'm trying to say like not because he's not a film. Like Art the Clown is not the title of any film, but like his character is one of those characters that is like not known of so much. Like it's not so much popular, but like maybe they've seen him, but they don't know like where he's from.
Like the little guy from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, like I'm sure they've probably
seen him around.
Yeah, I think like you've probably been sent some scary thread with him in it, but like you've never seen the movie. For like regular people, I mean, but I think in the horror community, it's definitely like they do a lot of like Pennywise versus Art the Clown.
They're different. They're so different.
Yeah,
I've seen some of like It stuff. I think when I was a little boy, Art is the Clown from this anthology series. Also, All Hallows Eve is an anthology series, and I think there's gonna be a second version of this.
Okay. So
not the Terrifier series. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right, there is an All Hallows Eve 2, but it's unrelated. It's a standalone film.
We can talk about Art right now. I think as a character, he has like major potential because the guy who made this,
Damien Leon.
Yeah. Wow, you're good. You got it. Yeah. He. Fuck. No, I can't. Ooh, all this was gonna. We'll bring it back. Bring it back.
Damien Leon wanted. He basically was wanting to give Art the Clown his own movie from the get-go, like a full length, like bring this character to life. So he made this short called Terrifier.
Yeah. It's
2000. The anthology is 3 films.
Yeah, it's the
3 parts to the film, and it's the last one.
third one.
Yeah, and it's called, that was originally called Terrifier.
2011.
And he put that out like on YouTube, and I think he was submitting it to like
film festivals.
Yeah. And his whole goal was for a producer to come and grab that and hopefully, give him a budget so he could turn that into its own thing. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the case. I mean, someone did come across Terrifier, the short film, not to be confused with the one that comes out later.
There's a movie. This was All Hallows Eve.
Yeah. Which is when he makes his first appearance, the clown.
Well, he makes his first appearance in 2008.
The Ninth Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
There's so many things.
Yeah. Okay, so, but the focus was on Art the Clown being Terrifier. So that short film was what caught this producer's attention. Oh. And then he reached out and asked him if he wanted to do an anthology film, which wasn't his like his goal, right? But he figured like this something, right? He got a DVD, like it was out there. And then Art the Clown's character did gain traction, but like no producer believed in the character enough to give him like the budget he wanted to make Terrifier. Mm. So he made like 85% of the budget was from investors, and then he ended up raising like another like over 4,000 from just
the Indiegogo and stuff like that.
Yeah. The way he was like trying to advertise for it, like campaign for it, was like, because he's a special effects artist as well.
Yeah,
so he was like, I want to make sure you guys have more bang for your, like all the bang for your buck you can get. And he was like, I'm gonna make his own Funkos, like, attention to detail, like all handmade. And he's like, all the like memorabilia, I promise you're gonna get like your money's worth. It was like super fucking cool. And I mean, they did it. They ended up making Terrifier after this, which is not what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, it's because Art the Clown is, he himself, it's not about, and in watching this movie and researching all these things, it's not about the films. It's about him. Yeah. It's about getting this character and making it into something greater than what it already is. And this guy just wants this opportunity to do it, and it's really interesting. And it feels like when you're watching this movie, it feels like he's trying to do something with it and get more creative with it. He doesn't have the experience yet. He doesn't have like the backing. Eve and
is
stuff.
Basically like
a trial.
Damien Leon's like attempt at giving Art the Clown like his debut and like really trying to sell him.
Yeah, because
the best way he could, like the way with what he was given.
It starts with this Halloween vibe, the 1970s one. Yeah, so it starts with the babysitter situation. And then they get a tape, which is like, who the fuck? What it's
when they were trick or treating.
Yeah, what's going on with this
VHS? Which I think they're already in like DVD time.
Yeah, which is very
like,
strange.
Bust out the Blu-ray.
It's 2013. Yeah, I don't know. When I was like, oh fuck, how do you guys? Where's the tape? You guys have a tape?
Yeah, just on deck.
What's it, man? These kids are like young. Like I don't know. More mysterious to have like a tape because it's already out of time and stuff than it is to get like a Blu-ray. You know what I mean? Because someone has to like make a menu. You know what I mean? And go to the commercial. So imagine that. But yeah, well they have a Blu-ray. No, they don't. Fuck. What's a VHS?
VHS player.
Yeah, VHS player.
VCR.
VCR. Fuck, dude. Yeah. You ever notice? I know this is off topic. But do you say like go back or like skip back, or do you say like rewind? Rewinding is like rewinding the tape. For people,
if I really think about it, I think I'd probably say fast forward. I mean, go back, like back forward.
Back,
like I don't know.
Yeah, but get into the talking for like an hour mode, and it keeps like escaping me. The killer is escaping.
Help me! The killer is escaping. Like, dude. Oh, sorry. I want to start talking about that.
We can't, dude.
Sarah Paulson.
Who's that?
That's who the actor. Okay, so that is from that like audio clip is from American Horror Story season, and she plays the character. Like that's her voice. It's her saying that. She was on a live with another person talking about how this audio clip is like a meme now, but she's like old and she's older and she doesn't really understand meme culture and she doesn't get it, and she's like, yeah, and she's explaining to this other person, another like person like her age. She's like, they're taking this clip of me saying the killer's escaping, and she's like, but they're like changing it, and she's like, it's like a remix. Like she's like, I don't. Can someone please explain this to me? I don't understand. She's like,
it's just
it was just really
you
funny.
you take a concept and you rework it into different scenarios, and part of its hilarity is that it's a reference, and the other part is that it's not used correctly.
It's that she doesn't understand why it's so funny and why it blew up. And then she a lot of people like talk shit about how she yells and stuff, and she's like, and people don't like how I yell, so like this is blowing up and they're like judging my yell. She's like, why don't you guys send me audio files of you screaming and I'll judge them. It's so cute.
Yeah, people get really defensive and take some of that shit really into heart, and I get it, but it's also not the biggest deal to criticize someone's yelling. Okay, so when I was watching this movie, I saw a lot of parallels with Halloween and like how it started. And it gave me this vibe like, oh, is this like an homage? Like, is this going to keep doing it, or like what it is? But because we've talked about how...
Oh, to the film Halloween.
To the film Halloween, yeah. Because the way that it's... And here's the thing that I noticed. Like, it's shot in this way that's like... No, the camera doesn't move, and it doesn't move a whole lot in Halloween. But it doesn't move a lot in Halloween, and I talked about it before, that it does this thing where it pulls back and then there's like space for like Michael Myers and the person to search. But with this, it's just like, it's just there, it's like one frame. It's shot like a sitcom where it's like there's no moving, there's no action happening. Yeah, it's really
like cuts to them sitting and then cuts back to... And
then when they speak, because there's this thing, like I would do it when I was making videos or whatever, where instead of getting people's reaction, and like sometimes audio would like overlap, so you're talking over me, because that's what happens in real life. People talk over each other, and then and things like that. But every time someone would speak in this movie, it would cut to them saying it. If you watch any like decent production, there's like little tricks that you catch. Are you looking at Hannah? Is Hannah looking at you?
No, I just looked that way.
Okay, because every time. You guys are conspiring against me.
She's literally like on her phone minding her business. I just laughed and I was like looking over there.
Because you guys
Christian, you need to stop analyzing everything that I'm doing. I promise. Like, I'm here with you.
Okay, dude. All right. There's these little things that it does make it feel like it is a student film, like that it is a first entry in these things. More than like what Michael Myers felt like, because that was like a start of the thing, but they had more experience. But this guy seems, and when you tell me that he's a makeup guy, that makes sense, because it looks good, and like some of the effects look good, especially for the budget. But like directing and like seeing how everything fits together, there's some parts that I'm like, that doesn't.
You know what my
kind of feels off. What's up?
Explain that is, I believe they made the film through just using YouTube and like sending emails back and forth.
Oh, yeah, because there's not a lot of room for experimentation when you have,
which like kudos.
Yeah, no.
When you learn
exactly.
that. But that would make sense.
Yeah. So, and the acting or whatever, but I mean, again, that everyone's just first time and doing things, and the kids, they seem kind of.
I think it's some of their debuts, like acting.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get the tape. Which they find the VHS player. They get the tape, and then they pop in the first movie. And what do they see?
And that's
the Ninth
Circle short film.
They do this thing where they used 2 of his previously made things in the anthology.
And then he just popped in that middle one, which has no name. I tried looking.
Yeah, I also try to find it. Like the first short film is called The Ninth Circle, and the third short film is called Terrifier. And they reused that, and that's why when you told me like, oh, how about you make an anthology? It's interesting because I don't know if it's like make an anthology with what you already made, or make a whole new thing, or is that the cheapest way we could make this thing by using like previous thing? And it's an interesting way to recycle what they already did. So maybe it was one of those things like us, right now it fit in this little like niche that we needed it to. So maybe that's just an interesting parallel. But yeah, so they pop in the Ninth Circle. It's a female in a train station.
Yeah.
With art, and then he looks like a dude, and I think all of these are supposed to take place on Halloween. I think they reference that all these things take place.
Yeah, because
I guess it's also a parallel.
Like a drunk couple dressed up.
Yeah, yeah. So everything in this film takes place on Halloween, and so she's waiting for a train and she sees this clown. She's like, oh, I guess it's just another.
Creepy as fuck. Like,
Yeah,
just to
it's
have a
ominous
clown.
the way that it's like the colors. I'll say that the colors in this film are pretty good.
Gray and like
Bland.
a dingy train station, like
It looks like it would smell.
middle of
in
the
there.
night. Yeah, it would. It does look like it would smell.
in
Like
there.
Art the Clown probably smells.
Yeah, it probably smells gross. He probably never washes his ass. But
Oh my god.
he has this bag, and then he does this. The first thing that I saw as a clown, I'm like, oh, lit. I thought it was gonna go in this certain super clowny direction where all the kills are like gags and shit.
Yeah.
And like he pulls like the horn, and he beeps the horn, and she's like, ah, because she's scared,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, that is something to be scared of. And then there's a cockroach, and I don't know what that's about. Then he laughs about that.
Oh, just to be like a fucking weird.
Just an asshole.
Because initially, I mean, if you think about it, it's like you don't talk to strangers, especially when you're in the middle of the night somewhere, and it's the only person dressed like a fucking clown.
Creepy.
Anyway, then he goes to sit by her, and she's like,
What are you doing?
This is too much. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of like another clown gag. Here's some flowers. So now she's probably like, okay, you're just being funny. Takes the flower. There's a fucking cockroach.
Yeah,
You know?
and he laughs at her.
Yeah.
And then he stabs her with a syringe, which is
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Sedates her.
It all happens so.
Oh, because she tries
quickly.
to leave. Yeah, she's like, fuck this. This is too weird. And then he just grabs her and fucking right into the like hand veins.
So he takes her to this like underground cult situation, and she's tied up with like these other people that are like about to give up.
Oh, I got you. It's supposed to be his interpretation of Dante's Inferno.
Oh,
That's what that is. So it's supposed to be
Which
like
one of the circles? Oh, the ninth,
the ninth circle of hell.
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because, wow, people don't know this, but in Dante's Inferno, hell is layered. You go to hell for different reasons, and each reason has
How
a different.
bad
Yeah.
The severity of your
like
sins.
you get one for just like not doing anything with your life. You get one if you're like a murderer. Like there's like different layers, and then they do call them circles. So this is the ninth circle.
And now it all makes sense.
It all comes together. Holy shit, that makes sense.
It comes full circle.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, so they get. I guess, it stumped me a little bit.
See, this is what I'm like.
Holy shit, that changes my perspective.
Amazing.
Dude, what is the ninth circle though of hell?
Look it up.
The ninth circle.
Frozen lake and like Dante's vision of hell in general. Oh, what the fuck am I reading? Sorry.
The ninth circle of hell is a frozen lake, and like Dante's vision of hell in general, the ninth circle itself is divided into rings of increasingly
the
bad
people
situations.
who are sent to the ninth circle are people who have betrayed the trust of someone or something close and special.
Oh, that would have been an interesting idea.
Like, kind of like what he does.
Oh, yeah, he tricks people. So he takes... But it's interesting. So she is not sent to hell. He, a trickster, who would be in the ninth circle, because it betrays trust, takes her to his part of hell. That's interesting. And that makes him a demon then. I know in Terrifier, they like kind of drop a little bit of the demon stuff.
Terrifier, the short film?
No, Terrifier, the movie.
The movie, okay.
The film. Yeah, it's so weird. Why? I get it. He wants to call it Terrifier, so he named it, both of them Terrifier.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make... But it's so confusing. Like, now it's so confusing. Yeah, but when they're in there, it's a bunch of gobbledygooky looking people, and then there's like a cult situation happening. It does not look cold, by the way. So that's a little bit of a slip.
Interpretation.
Yeah,
short
okay.
film.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
it's like the thing we just discovered. Ninth circle. He tricks people. Like,
Yeah. So it is connected, kind of.
That's so clever. I love that so much.
Yeah, that's really good. It's honestly, unless the rest of it has more things like that. When I was watching this, I was like, there's not a lot of like clever little things to it. It kind of just seems like it's just art fucking around, killing people.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of character development to any of these people, really.
I think originally, the other like women who are being held captive, they got cut out because he felt that like it was becoming more of like a bigger movie than it was supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
And like that was too much like unexplained type stuff, so he cut them out. And then later, like he felt shitty for doing that to them, and then he ended up putting it in.
Oh yeah, because when she was talking to the other like victims, it seemed like there was something going on and that there was gonna be more.
You're missing something.
You are missing something.
And then it just cuts and it's kind of like the end, pretty close. After.
Yeah. It all just they talk and then some chick's trying to give up or trying to leave or whatever. The acting is, it feels very first time and stuff like that. And then some chick starts to leave. She gets killed because anytime you're around art, you're gonna die. It seems like. So then she dies, and I feel like that's it. And there's a hobo there's a hobo.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny that it's like you're in the place you're at, and you think someone you're gonna run into there is gonna be
someone going
like,
into towards the cold.
Yeah, like what person is gonna voluntarily go in there? Like a good Samaritan.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's get out of here. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Hey, I came in here. I saw there was a hole in the ground, and I just wanted to make sure
everyone's okay.
Someone was in here that they were good.
Yeah, no.
So, this is the way out. Follow me.
The second short film though is very weird.
Yeah,
that one.
That's definitely like an insert.
Yeah,
we need another thing.
It was about an alien, like a chick, barely moved. Said something about a spouse being an artist. The only mention of art is that he was.
I wish someone would just buy this piece or something. Yeah.
And it was a picture, a painting. Presumably, it looked like a printed thing, to be honest. But it's presumably a painting of art, and the guy doesn't remember why he did it or where it came from. But I think that also alludes to him being a demon and just his presence being evil. And then an alien comes. And I think maybe that was put in there for diversity's sake because it's a different vibe. But also, man, like, I don't know. I feel like they could have cut that out and I would have been happy. I was watching it and I'm like, what is going on?
Like
I literally have it in my notes.
Black buggy eyes.
It looks like
headed.
Yeah, it looks like the emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it right here in my notes. What the fuck was the alien? She sucks with phones too.
I just didn't write anything down.
No, I wrote down a couple of things. What the fuck is the alien? And then she sucks with phones.
Oh yeah, and
she doesn't know how to turn off the ringtone. She's like flipping out. She's like juggling it.
No, it was so funny that it's like she has no service, and then like when it comes back, it's like you have service, and now it fucking killed you.
She started on the phone.
Yeah.
And then like the service goes, and then like she's gonna turn on the thing, and then like the car doesn't turn on. Of course, the car doesn't turn on.
The call with the husband was so funny. He's like, "Well, like leave and just call the cops." She's like, "The car's dead." He's like, "We'll try it again." Like, that's like the vibe.
Yeah, it seems like someone was like, "Hey man, I need." The project is going to be due here soon, and I don't want to fail the class, so can you just come up with something? That's exactly how it feels. Like, you have the fucking, your project's due in 2 hours, man. You got to figure something out.
Yeah, it's like you're complaining to a friend, and the friend is like, so do it.
Yeah. And then she runs around her home, and then it follows her, and then he keeps making this breathing sound. To get rid of him, to kill him, pulls on one of the tubes because he has this breathing mechanism, and then he just puts it back in, and then he just keeps running after her. Cut it with the knife. I don't know, do something. And then she runs into the closet. This thing is this whole situation's so fucking dumb. And then her phone rings. I thought she didn't have service. I don't know what happened. She had service. Right. She doesn't have service. Now she's getting a phone call. She doesn't know how to turn off the fucking ringtone. She's juggling the phone. It's only one phone. How can you juggle one phone? And then the fucking thing finds her and kills her. And then it shows a picture of art, an art piece of art.
Yeah.
That one was a fucking mess. What was that? That was such shit, dude.
Literally, it's like I have things about the ninth circle, and then in between, I put like so much space in between, and I put this film has no name.
So it's the ninth circle, the alien shit, and then what's the
Terrifier?
Third one is Terrifier.
Yes.
So the third film is Terrifier, the like pilot, I guess. Like you know how shows have pilot episodes?
Yeah.
Which is like the first episode, and to try to sell it to a network.
This is like the main event. Like this is what we came here for. This is what's going to start
the franchise.
Else.
Yeah. Art's fucking as a character, man. This clown's gonna. he's gonna go up a couple circles. You know what I mean?
It's like the Ninth Circle was a local play, and like the local play got his name around, and like now he's doing the pilot. That's someone gave him like their card.
Green light.
Like, call me.
Yeah. So he does.
Show me what you got.
And it starts off with this chick who has like these snail eyes, bro. They're just I'm not. Let's not make fun of her appearance. She's great. When I was looking at her,
I was talking about Charlotte Charizard in the fourth guy.
So it starts off with her trying to get gas.
Yeah.
And then my first thing is like, just get down and pump the gas.
Oh.
In every other state besides like Washington,
Oregon. Well,
Oregon. Oh yeah, like that's the only 2 states that I know of that someone else would pump your gas. And then
wait, does she just wait in the car? Like,
yeah, she called someone else instead of going in the store or paying on the machine like how you would normally. She's in Pennsylvania, and I knew this because I went back, and then in the radio it says like, "Hey, happy Halloween, Pennsylvania," and it has like a fucking radio sound,
I didn't think I realized that.
Yeah, but and I looked it up in Pennsylvania. Like, do you not pump your own gas? Like,
punched in the date. You still pump your own gas.
I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything super definitive either way because one, I don't think anyone asks any. Like I don't think states ask other states, "Hey, do you guys pump your own gas?" Like I don't know if that's a really big point of conversation.
Went over my head, and I just went straight to like when you see art.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a fuck up when they were making the whole thing, but to find a state that you would pump.
So she for sure was like waiting for someone to come to her.
To pump, like, "Hey, can I get my gas pumped?" And then she sat in the car, and then they were making conversation. Found the dude who like works at the gas station, and they talked, and then something about piss and shit. Art, right?
Art made art in the bathroom, and it was not appreciated,
which is very strange for a demon to do. One, what are you eating that makes you shit? And also, I thought demons were like undead. It's just, it makes me question. When I heard he pissed and shit on the wall, and then I'm like, wait, wasn't he a demon? What's up with this?
The demon thing goes on to be explained in his own film.
Oh.
And so you're going off of this assumption, but like your assumption's spot on.
Yeah, I think
you're making valid points. Yeah, but like
what is this? Well, because I'm trying to treat it with some respect and try to actually, like if someone makes something, you'd want the audience to actually pay attention.
Yeah.
So I feel like by raising these questions, I'm kind of like, yeah, man, what's going on here?
However, as we've said before, we are also like taking films apart.
Yeah.
Which
maybe I don't know if this is because I mean that's definitely something that I do.
Especially when like your regular schmegular is watching an anthology, like you're not putting too much thought. You're just like, oh, there's different. It's cutting to something else.
Yeah. He hears a banging. They're talking outside. He hears a banging, and then
did he pump her gas? He ended up doing it, right?
Yeah,
she did. In fact, get her gas.
Gas pumped.
He was about to give her directions, and then I think he said like, was he gonna get a map or something? Can't remember. But yeah, there's a sound.
There's a sound, and so he leaves, and then she's like there. I would honestly, if I were her, I'd just like finish and then leave, like whatever's going on. I don't know, leave the tip somewhere, and then if that's what you do in Pennsylvania, and then leave. But she went after the dude. She heard sounds, and it was like doo 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 doo, like what's going on?
And he wasn't back yet. Like,
he wasn't
it's been a minute.
Yeah. And then it was Art just chopping him up in little bits.
Fucking crazy.
And it was like really bloody, and that's like the most blood that I've seen.
Yeah, so gory.
Yeah, and then like you can hear the sounds, man. When I was hearing it, I was like, oh man,
and
I don't know if I
that's
this.
When like like Damien Leon got he would just went in, and it's like that's amazing.
It's a lot of effort into it, and she dips, and then she's in a panic, and then there's this thing that happens in scary movies where sometimes I can suspend my disbelief and go along with it. Like, oh man, this shit's wild. That one, when she freaked out and like left, very cool. She leaves at some point, and then he just keeps popping up, and then she pulls over at some point, and she tries to help someone, and then it was someone that Art already got. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that part?
With like emergency lights.
With emergency lights, and then at that point, I'm like, bro, I just got out of a scary situation. Yeah, I'm not in any position.
You just saw a clown over and over again, and then you're gonna stop to help. That was just like an extra, like, let me put some horror movie stupidity in here. Yeah. No, you don't do that.
You don't do that. And then she like runs into a barn, and then he chases her. his weapon of choice. His weapon of choice in this situation was like a chain with sharp objects. Like there was a screwdriver I saw. There was like a saw blade from like a hacksaw or something. It was, and then he started beating her with it. I'm sorry. It's just it's fucked because I'm like, that's gonna kill you very slowly and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but it's like
It's gonna take him.
It just feels like a situation.
All right, you're gonna be there for a minute,
yeah,
dude.
man. It's a bro.
Gonna kill 10 other people by.
Yeah, and then there's a chase scene with some cars and a dude picks her up, which I'm like, oh, finally someone helps someone else in a horror film. Like,
Yeah,
you never see that. Then Art gets in a car. Somehow, I think her car. I don't know whose car. And then he pulls out a fucking gun. And then he's driving and he shoots like he's a family member from Toretto's crew. Like, how can you be this good at driving and shooting? Where'd you get this? And then I honestly chucked it up to like, oh, he's a demon. He shits on
right.
wall. I was like,
yeah, he can do whatever. He just popped up 10 times.
He like dug at one point, like he was underground or something, and he like undug himself. And at some point in the movie, this guy's just so determined to kill people. I don't know.
So cool.
Yeah, it was good. Although this stuff doesn't make sense.
It goes on into like why he's so scary because you're trying to understand what the fuck he is and how he's doing, and then you're trying to wrap your head around it all, and you're just like, he just keeps coming out of places.
So the last like the fourth short film, quote unquote, is when they go back into the real world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he goes back into the real world, and then because of the babysitter wants to watch, so she was like, "Yo, you shouldn't be watching this. It's fucking gross. Don't
but then
do it."
She goes on to
and she's the gross one, yeah, that continues to watch
she's
it.
The gross one.
And then because of that, she releases Art from the fucking tape, which is like
she gets
another
the
like scary
call
trope
from like the chick from the gas station,
which was that tripped me out, and I'm like, but that already happened, like what's the point? And I think it's just like, oh, just trying to be spooky, trying to connect them a little bit. And then she sees Art in the mirror but doesn't see him in real life, so then it's like destroys the tape because like obviously like that makes him
as he's getting like closer to closer.
Yeah, because if you watch other movies, like that's how you do it, right? You start the power sources, but you know, like I think another one would have been funny if she like rewind it and then like that
he
put him
goes
back in. Exactly. But she didn't try that. I mean, I would have
rewind and then hit stop.
yeah and they just smashed it after that. Pretty much what ends up happening is like he kills the kids, but this one part that I want to talk about. But then he's a little artist, you know, and then he writes his name with their blood on the wall. I thought that was funny because like, oh, so this guy just like spreading like, you know, secretions and putting them on walls. So he has like a weird smothering fetish.
And I think it's kind of really sick. Like it's a way, because we don't know his name the whole time.
The whole
and then
time.
it's like at the very end, it's like, this is who I am.
I'm Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
a really good way to like pick up where that film leaves
like
off, you know, for its character.
Like remember it's a kind of like, how can you not remember the name now?
Yeah.
It's like seared into your brain because it's children's blood. And that's pretty much like the whole movie. There's not a lot that happens. It's just him killing and things, and it's honestly more of a spectacle than it is a storytelling like ride. You know what I mean? It's not really that kind of vibe.
Yeah, but I just loved that it was another Halloween day based film. And
very
then,
loosely though, very loosely.
But then like you mentioned the clown thing, and I was like, this is perfect. This will work. October, bitches.
Yeah, the whole thing kind of just felt like a first run, and it wasn't bad. Because when you're watching this, and because Art is in most of them, except for the fucking alien one, that one can suck my ass, that it gives you this vibe for the character itself. And he has, like, the way he moves, I like there's some clown aspects. I hope that they continue that he's not just some dude who, like, horrifically kills people, but that there are more clown aspects. Like I like the horn thing. I want really play up that you're, you know, clowns have this the reason why I think clowns are scary is because it's a person behind makeup, behind a mask, you know, like you don't know who they are. The person that they're portraying in the front is not really who they are. And I think that's what makes clowns scary. And if they would play with that a little bit more, I think that would really like that's a way to really fucking sear him in to like cult status, you know, into the culture.
So is this you saying you want to watch Terrifier?
I heard about Terrifier, and it is not. They're not. That is not what I. He's not doing what I want. You know what I mean? Like, he's not what it's. From what I hear, it's another. The characters aren't characters. They're just pigs to the slaughter.
So no.
So I don't know. I'd hold off on it.
So we'll watch it and then
Maybe
just maybe
maybe
not record.
Maybe, yeah. Because I don't know if I'm going to say a lot else, because a lot more than what I already have to.
His origin story is what's important. And it's like he goes on for like the rest of the crowd, you know, that's watching to like solidify his character. But it's like, we know.
Yeah, no, he's interesting in the way he moves. The weapons are super interesting that he uses, like the chain thing. I don't know if that's his like main thing, but yeah, it seems like it's a lot of gory things. Like there's little aspects of this film and every, I guess, all these little films that make this picture it's not super clear yet, but I see the rufflings, the makeup, the fucking, you know, the little bits that can really like launch this guy, this project into like better places. If it all feels like it's all in the making of this thing that can be larger, and I hope that they continue, like, you know, the director Leopold Butterscotch or whatever you said his name was.
Damien Leon.
Yes, Damien Leon. Yeah, but what I do want to see is more gags, more playing with people, like toying with his victims a little bit more. The gore, not my favorite, but that, I mean, if that's what it has to be, then that's fine, you know.
I find it interesting that you say that, because I feel like you're describing Pennywise. Who you didn't want to talk about.
He's probably like the best example of it, but I don't think the best clown movie is Pennywise. I feel like this idea, this darker, deeper, more complex idea,
as a clown movie, but we are still going to watch that, right?
What? It.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, that's not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for it to be our first one, it's kind of like, oh, obviously,
right?
It's the one.
Okay.
That I just didn't want to go down that road, but no, he's probably the closest thing to that I have seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to. I do want
specifically from art.
From art, if he's gonna be his own distinct thing, play up more of the kill people like. And another movie that does it is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They play with that, dude. Though, but they like use weapons, and the way they kill people is very like gag filled and interesting. But also, I think it would be fun and great if they're not going to do it, because they already seem to be into the gory side of things. But what if art was actually just funny? You know how Chucky has a couple of funny lines, and it's like it's a good time, and it's like. It mix humor, you know what I mean? Like, and then use it to like offset. So then you're like, oh, I'm having a good time, and then slam you right back into this terrifying, you know? So it could be like a roller coaster, and at the end of the day, it'd be like a good time.
That really changes the film, because that's exactly like, again, that is what
I think we should watch Stitches.
I've seen Stitches.
I think, doesn't that one actually involve more clown aspects and is funny and stuff, or is I'm thinking about a different film? There's another clown. There's a lot. There's like a good amount of clown films.
I actually might be mistaking Stitches for clown. In my head right now.
That's what I want to see. All these movies like that I've heard of and seen, they play with the idea of like it's just a scary clown, not like why is it a clown?
By the way,
what, you know.
Like I would love to somehow incorporate the type of movies like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Leprechaun, like we've talked about
Cheesies.
That. Right, but like it's hard to talk about like in a podcast sense, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about later down the line like streaming while
that's
watching
the kind of
that.
shit.
Yeah, because like I don't know how to describe that. Like, how would you describe?
Yeah, no, we can't talk about Killer Clowns.
Because like we appreciate the shit out of those movies,
because it's a lot of aesthetics.
It's
a lot of aesthetics and gags and in the moment things, and then the '80s vibe, the soundtrack. Like, you cannot really. You can dissect and figure out and talk about complex ideas like The Shining, like what we've done, and Michael Myers, but and the way it's shot, but the feeling of a movie, it's hard to just
go off of that solely.
Exactly. So I think that's why with movies like that are just fun, then yeah. But as far as this guy has like potential, and the way that he moves, the way that he looks, like the pale face, and like he already has his own vibe to him. The magic demon aspect of it, love it, cool. We can run with that. And then if they keep playing with the idea of like, is he a man? Is he a clown? Like, you know, like playing with the mystery kind of aspect of it. And I think altogether, there's these little ways, because he's not fully cemented and his character's not fully cemented as of yet. And I don't know what's in Terrifier. I mean, I'm sure they like talk a little bit more about it in his background in there, but if they do continue this character, like some of those thoughts that I said before, I think would really elevate this guy to a different level, because he already has like the vibe, a lot of the vibes down. But yeah, like I really hope this goes somewhere and becomes like right there with Pennywise and stuff, as far as like clown movies.
I think what's really cool about these movies having like multiple like prequels and different things, or like just many, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Is like that like we can and we can watch like one or like a couple and like
the progression of them,
or just like go further, because like things start to change over time, and like I really appreciate stuff like that. And then we don't know if like in a couple years there'll be like a Terrifier 3 or like
a reimagining or something.
Mm-hmm.
With this guy, it seems like because it's still fairly new as far as franchises go and how many entries are in there, there's a lot of ways it could still go, and this is very it'd be very interesting to see. So
fantastic.
I don't know what else there's to say. Good luck. I hope that this goes somewhere, as like for I keep forgetting his name.
And check your local gas laws before stopping and expecting someone to do it for you, you fuck.
If you've listened to this far into the podcast, can you please tell us if you pump your own gas?
We went to Oregon once, and we stopped to get gas, and back then it was they pump for you. The way, the fucking speed this man ran out, because we were getting off, we were like getting the fucking thing, about to put, and he runs out like he was like, he had a hatred for like people from California. He was like, this isn't California, like we don't pump your own gas here. Like took the freaking thing out of like my cousin's hand, and we were like, all right, like I was just gonna push the button, dude. It's not.
I don't know what's up with it. Unless the machine is super different,
I believe.
Yeah, unless the machine is super complicated, I don't really see a need to watch more clown movies. Oh, and if there are more clown movies to check out, please let me know. Tell me if you pump your own gas. That'd be great. And just say I pump. That's it.
I pump.
I pump.